Hi everybody, this is Rebecca Jane from Yoga with Rebecca Jane, and welcome to Laguna Hills, California. We are visiting from London and we are here for Christmas, as you can see with the poinsettia. The class peak pose will be the bird of paradise. And the reason why I chose this pose is because the state flower is the bird of paradise. It's a standing balance, which requires some twisting and obviously balance as well. But it's great fun. There's variations to it, and I thought I would choose that. And so let's get started, and here we go. So just take the first few moments just to sit. I'm going to be sitting on my heels, so feel free to sit on your heels. Maybe put a block underneath or a pillow underneath your heels, or in your traditional cross-legged easy pose. And let's begin by just sitting and relaxing, closing your eyes, pretending you are wherever you are in the world, whatever time of the day. Just let yourself imagine yourself in a warm climate, sitting outside in the sun. And being a bird of paradise, which is actually a real bird, but it's also a flower. It's a magnificent colors, oranges and reds. So taking just a few moments, and let's start to deepen the breath, coming into the ojai breath. So taking a breath in through the nose, and exhaling. You can exhale through the mouth a little bit longer if you need a little bit extra relaxation, if you're feeling a little bit uptight or anxious or groggy. And let's take one more deep breath in, and let's come into our forward bend. Let's reach our legs forward. We're going to start with stretching out the backs of our legs, inhaling, reaching the arms up to the sky, and let's fold over into a forward bend. For this particular posture, the prep poses are twisting, there's lunges, we have standing poses like Warrior Two, and a few extra also balances, standing balances. Taking an inhale, and let's lift up back up. Let's slide our bottom to our heels, and we're going to come down and activate our core muscles with a few and a Forrest. As you can see, the sun's quite strong here. So as you lie down, take a moment here with the feet hip distance apart, arms resting next to your sides. And let's start to deepen the breath, feeling the breath as it fills your rib cage. It is very odd for me to be here at Christmas, to be in a warm climate. I'm used to snow or at least very, very cold weather. And then let's just hug our knees into our chest, do a few little rocks from side to side. And then let's, from here, keep your right knee into your chest, extend your left leg. As you extend your left leg, press through the heel of that left foot as if you're standing on, doing a standing balance, you're standing on the ground. And we're going to take that left hand to the outside of that right knee, right arm out to the side, and then cross your right leg over your left, stretching out that right arm. Your toe of that right foot can touch the ground, or if you cannot get even close, then place the foot on your left thigh. And then let's inhale that knee back up, re-hug your knee into your chest, and let's open the leg out to the side now. So either taking a strap, wrapping that around your foot, or take your hand on your ankle or your calf or big toe, and let's start to stretch out the inner edge of that right thigh. Make sure your left hip stays down. So I'm going to have you start to visualize what the bird of paradise looks like ultimately, where we might be at some point. Or you might only get to about a small section of it, not quite to the advanced standing balance. And then bring your right knee back into your chest, and let's just switch. Extend your right leg forward, and then take your right leg and flex the foot as if you're standing on the ground. Take your right hand to the outside of that left knee, left arm out to the side, and then cross your right knee over your left. Now that left foot can touch, you can either touch the ground or just place it on your right leg. And feel the twist all the way up your spine, or at least up till you'll feel the most of it around the lower and middle back. And then pick that leg back up, come back to center, and then take your left leg out to the left side. Yeah. And as you do so, place your right hand on your right hip. So this again, back to the shape of the bird of paradise, is a part of where we may end up. And then bring your left leg back in and bring both knees in. Give yourself another hug, little rocks from side to side. We're going to do a few abdominals, Anna Forrest abdominals, and then a few other kinds, just to get the core fired up and strong and ready to take us through the flow, sun salutations, and then of course ultimately the peak pose. Hands behind your head, elbows angle in towards each other. Feet, bring them in a little bit closer so they're not too far from your sit bones, but not too close. So you'll find the perfect position. We're going to start with the basic Anna Forrest, just to get our abs warmed up. Taking an inhale, lift your head and shoulders off the mat, and then chin is tucked. Holding the breath, tailbone lifts. You can always put a block or a rolled up blanket between the legs. And then exhale, elbows reach towards the ceiling. Now I can actually say the sky, so reach towards the sky. Inhaling, lowering down. And now you can do you can continue doing the lower version, the first level, or come up to the second level, which are legs together at 90-degree angles. Push through the ball mounds of those feet. Take your head back down to start. Press the lower back into the ground. Take an inhale, lift your elbows up towards the sky, holding the breath, tailbone lifts, and then exhaling, either keeping your legs as they are or stretch them on a diagonal. Reach your elbows up. So this is a powerful abdominal. Inhale, come back to neutral. We're going to do another one of these, holding the breath, lift your tailbone, and then exhaling, straighten the legs, maybe, that's always an option. Elbows lift, 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 lift. And then let's come back down, hug the knees into the chest. Little rocks and rolls. And now we're going to do elbow to knee because the bird of paradise is a twisting standing balance, we need to warm up our oblique muscles. Hands back behind your head, elbows angling in, feet flat on the ground, level 1 version of elbow to knee. Take a breath in, lift your head and shoulders up. Hold the breath, tailbone lifts, and then exhaling, left knee lifts. Also, you pick that left knee up and twist towards your left knee with those elbows, but the elbows reach towards the sky. And then inhale, lower the left foot down, lower the tailbone down, and come to the upper part of your shoulders. Holding the breath, let's lift the tailbone, and then right knee lifts as well, but keep it as in line with your right hip. And then as you exhale, elbows angle in towards the right knee and lift up towards the sky. because I see the palm trees. They're just magnificent. And the grasses. And then lower the right foot down and lower the head down. That's level 1. I'm going to take you to level 2 version. These are well worth it. They might be very slow, but you will find that you're able to do much more once your core muscles are strong. So take a breath in, lower the tailbone, the lower back presses down, holding the breath, tailbone lifts, and this time exhale, twist your elbows towards your left knee and just straighten your right leg on that diagonal. If that doesn't work for you, you could pick your right leg up. And then inhale back to center, lower the tailbone down, keep your head and shoulders up, holding the breath, tailbone lifts, exhaling, twisting to that right knee, extending your left leg. Oh. Inhaling back to center, and then lower the feet down. Let the head rest, open the feet wide, open the knees wide, soles of the feet together, Baddha Konasana, reclining Baddha Konasana, stretching out those hips. Breathing in, let's start to breathe into that rib cage, inhaling and exhaling. I'm laughing because it's very, I've never taught outside in California before. So this is very new to me. And then let's take an inhale and exhale. Take your hands to the outside of those legs. Hug your knees into your chest. Little rocks and rolls from side to side. Okay, next abdominal. Feet flat on the ground, arms stretching out to the sides. And you'll see how important these oblique muscles are in regards to the bird of paradise. So lift your legs up to a 90-degree angle, squeeze the legs together, flex the feet. Press the lower back into the ground. You're all ready to go. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, the knees drop to the left, but just as far as about halfway rather than all the way to the ground, because we don't want to lose the contraction. And then inhale, lift back up. Press the lower back into the ground. Exhaling, knees over to the right. No, you're not lifting the tailbone up in this particular one. Inhaling back to center. This time exhale to the left, and you have an option of keeping the legs bent or straightening both legs or just the top leg. So both legs, you're on the diagonal to the left. Rebend before you even come back to neutral, inhaling, then exhaling over to the right. Decide, keep it as is, or straighten the top leg, or both. It's a little bit more intense, obviously, the two legs straighten. Let's do one more time. Inhaling, press the lower back into the ground, protect your spine, and then to the left, and decide where you're going to go. Exhale with those legs. And then inhale back to center. And then exhaling to the right. And then come back to center. Oh, cross your ankles. Let's take a pause here. Let our tummies. Let's take a few breaths into the rib cage, releasing all that built up tension in our tummies. We've fired up our solar plexus as we get ready to move on to our flow. Take an inhale and exhale, roll all the way up. And then extending your legs forward. Let's fold forward again. Taking your breath in and taking your breath out. Let it all out, let all the air out. Notice if your body is carrying any excess stress that you might have just accumulated just a few moments ago. Then take an inhale, let's lift back up, let's swing around onto our hands and knees. And now we're on all fours. So from all fours, let's sit back into our child's pose. Reach your arms forward. Forehead resting on the ground. Stretch through those fingers. Take a breath in. And take a breath out. Let's inhale. We're going to start to move into our flow. Curl the toes under. Either press back into extended child's pose or follow me, downward dog. Stretching through the backs of those legs, pressing into the heels towards the ground, and let's pedal the feet, bending one knee and straightening the other leg and going back and forth. Inhaling and exhaling. And then let's come down, place our knees on the ground. I want you to slide your right knee forward until it's inside your right wrist. We're going to move into a pigeon pose, which will help open our hip joints, and a little twisting pigeon at the same time. Come and place your fingertips on the ground. Take an inhale. Peel open that chest, soften the shoulders down. We're not going to come all the way down, and this is not a resting pigeon at this point. This is more of a heart opener. And then from here, if you want to add, then place the hands back on the ground. If you'd like to add on, you can curl the back toes under and stretch through the back of that left leg. And then soften the shoulders down again. And now replace the left knee on the ground, top of the left foot on the ground, and from here take your right heel a little bit closer in underneath your pubic bone. Be careful with the knee in these poses, that you don't if there's any pain in the knee, then come out of it. Walk your hands over to the left. The option is to place that forearm on the ground and then place your left hand on your lower back, or come onto that right elbow. Make a fist with that right hand, left hand on top of the fist, and then twisting pigeon in. This is a level 2 pigeon. It's slightly more intense. And breathe in and breathe out. And then coming back up, placing the hands to the ground again. This time bend your left knee. Now this is where some of us might not, we may not be able to get near our back foot. Just keep it down on the ground and do a gentle twist again with the right hand on the ground, left hand on your lower back. Otherwise, grab hold of that left foot. Make sure the fingertips are pointing towards try and get the fingertips to point downward towards the ankle. Take an inhale, lift back up, maybe come a little bit higher onto those fingertips. And you have an option of looking back or looking forward. A slightly different twist to your shoulder stretch. So I'm going to actually choose to look forward, take a breath in, and take a breath out. I might even jump in the pool later after this. And then lower your left foot down. And then curl the back toes under and step back into your downward dog. So take a few breaths here, inhaling. So let's take 3 deep breaths here. In your downward dog, or feel free to take a child's pose. Breathing in and breathing out. And then from here, you're going to lower the knees down, and this time slide your left knee forward, and then slide the knee so that it's in line with the outer edge of the left side of the mat. Heel, for most of us, is underneath our pubic bone. There's some of us that are very flexible in the hips, and you can bring your leg up to a 90-degree angle and flex your left foot. Slide your right leg back, kind of wiggle it, and then come onto the fingertips. We're going to breathe in, and as you breathe out, you're going to lean back and slightly in a crescent shape, soften the shoulders down, staying up. And then taking a breath in, and then placing the hands back on the ground, curl the toes under, and if you'd like to add a little bit extra hamstring stretch, feel free to curl the back toes under and stretch out the back of that right leg. Now, lower your right knee down, top of the right foot on the ground. We're going to walk over to the right side of the mat. Option here, left forearm right hand out to the right side and come into a gentle twist, or come onto that left elbow, make a fist with that left hand, right hand on the fist, right elbow reaching up to the sky. Breathing in and out. And then walk yourself back up. So we're staying in this shape, but you might want to bring your heel a little bit further towards your pubic bone, a little bit further behind, or maybe underneath your left leg. You're going to place your left hand underneath your face. Some of us, we know where we're going. Right hand on your lower back, and you're twisting from here. Otherwise, bend your right knee, grab hold of that right foot. Fingertips are pointing down, so you're draping your hand over your right foot. And then lift up, push into that left hand. Take an inhale and exhale, twist either to looking towards the right shoulder or looking forward. You can come a little bit higher. You can adjust that bottom leg a little bit more. Opening up the right shoulder and then lowering yourself back down. Replacing the hands back into that kind of downward dog hand version, and then curl the back toes under now into your downward dog. Taking a few breaths in and taking a breath out. Let's do some pedals of the feet, loosening up those hips, loosening up the backs of the legs. Okay, so from here we're going to take a breath in, and you're going to walk to the front of the mat. Don't think I'm going to leap today, because chances are I might find myself in the pool. That would be actually very funny, wouldn't it? Let's exhale, forward fold. Take a pause here for a moment. When I say take a pause, you're not holding your breath, you're just here for a few breaths. Allowing your body to adjust to this shape. And if you want, please feel free to do a few little sways from side to side. And then bring the fingertips on the ground. Open the feet as wide as the mat. Bend your right knee. Take your right hand underneath your face, and you can use blocks if you need so. And inhale your left arm up to the sky. So from here, we want to practice opening up the shoulder for this bird of paradise. What I'm going to suggest is you take your left arm back behind you and see if you can grab hold of some extra clothing, or maybe the inside of that right thigh. Take a breath in as you push down with that right hand, exhaling, twisting a little bit more. Let your head hang here. You can look down or look towards your left shoulder. Looking at the beautiful blue sky. Take an inhale and exhale. Release your left hand down to the ground. Let's just bend the knees. Let's take a pause. Just shake it out a little bit, and then come back to your straight legs with a soft bend. Bend your left knee this time. Left hand underneath your face, and reach your right arm up to the sky. Take your right hand, drape it behind the back. If you can get it as far as the left inner thigh, or some of us, it's just gripping onto some clothing to give you a little bit extra leverage to twist. Dropping your head, breathing in and breathing out. Whew. And then taking an inhale and exhale, release your right arm down. These are fantastic, these twists, for detoxing, especially if you've been eating a lot of sweets and maybe drinking more than you normally do. Bring the feet hip distance apart. Let's bend the knees. Let's take a breath in, and let's roll up one vertebra at a time. And once you lift up, let's reach your arms up to the sky. Whew. Let's let the hands float down to your heart. Let's take a pause here. Reconnecting to the breath, breathing in and breathing out. Let's go through a one sun salutation, one set. Inhale, reach up. Sun salutation C with the lunges. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhaling, halfway. The exhale, step your right foot back, lower your right knee down. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhaling, lowering the hands down. Exhale into your downward dog. Inhaling into your plank. Knees down or up. Exhaling, lowering down, chaturanga. Inhaling into your cobra or upward dog. And let your heart open as you squeeze those legs towards each other. Breathing in, and as you breathe out, lower all the way down. Slide the hands next to the chest. Breathe, suck the tummy in as you, so you're taking an inhale and exhale. Pull the tummy in, and then push yourself up into a plank. Then exhale, downward dog. Let's inhale your right leg up to the sky. Let's exhale, step your right foot between your hands. Lower your left knee down. Inhale, reach your arms up. Low lunge. Exhale, lower the hands to the ground. Step your left foot forward. Forward fold to the front of the mat. Inhaling halfway, the fingertips on the ground or on shins. Exhaling, forward fold, and inhale, sweep your arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhaling, halfway. Then exhaling, stepping your left foot back, lower your left knee down. Inhale, reach your arms up. Low lunge. Exhale, lower the hands to the ground. Step back, downward dog. Inhaling into plank. Exhaling, lowering down, chaturanga. Inhaling into your upward dog or cobra. I like cobra. So this is what I tend to teach. Elbows are bent here. And then lower down. Nothing's wrong with upward dog. It's just a different way, different back bend. And exhaling, this time into your downward dog. Take your right foot in towards your left foot. Inhale your left leg up to the sky. And exhale, step your left foot between your hands. Lower your right knee down. Inhaling, reaching your arms up. Exhaling, lowering the hands down. Step forward, forward fold. Inhaling halfway. Exhaling, forward fold, and inhale, sweep your arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. Take a pause here. Inhaling and exhaling. Let's inhale, reach your arms up. Let's exhale, forward fold. Let's inhale halfway. This time, exhale, step your right foot back, lower your right knee down. Inhale, reach your arms up. This time, exhaling, twisting to the left, right elbow on your right thigh. Left thigh. Make a fist with that right hand, or hands together. Left hand on the fist. Elbow reaches towards the ceiling, lift it up, and twisting. So you're inhaling, telescoping your chest forward, and then twist to the left. You can add on to this if you'd like. You feel strong enough. You could turn the back toes under, right knee lifts off the ground. A high lunge twist. Then take an inhale and exhale, lower the hands to the ground. Step back, downward dog. Take a pause here, inhaling and exhaling. And you can decide to take a child's pose or stay in downward dog or follow me, vinyasa. Inhaling into your plank, exhale, lowering down. Chaturanga, inhaling into your cobra, or the upward dog is where your hands are behind your shoulders, your fingertips are just underneath your shoulders, and then slide yourself on top of the feet with the arms straight. So everything's lifted except the feet and the hands are touching the ground. And then exhale, downward dog. Feel free to go straight into a plank, push up into a plank if you'd like, and then go into your downward dog.
Bringing your right foot in towards your left foot. Take an inhale, reach your left leg up to the sky. Step your left foot between your hands. And then right foot forward, forward fold. Inhaling halfway. Exhaling, forward fold. Let's inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. Take a pause, inhaling and exhaling. Let's take a breath in, reach up. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhaling halfway. Step your left foot back. I'm going to spin around so you can see this twist. Lower your left knee down. Inhale, reach your arms up. And then exhale, twist onto the left leg, left elbow on the right thigh. Either fist with the right hand, or some people like to put their hands together in Anjali Mudra. Otherwise, fist. Right hand on the fist. Breathe in. This is a little bit more, gives you a little bit more leverage when you have the make a fist with your hands. Take an inhale, first telescope your chest forward and then twist to the right. And then if you'd like to add on, feel free to curl the back toes under and pick up that left knee. Whoops. And then take an inhale and exhale, lower the hands back down to the ground, frame your right foot, and then step back, downward dog. So feel free at this point to take a moment if you want, or let's go into our vinyasa. So you can take a pause in your child's pose, otherwise plank, exhale, lower down, chaturanga, inhale into your cobra or upward dog. You can feel the breeze, it's beautiful, it is absolutely breathtaking. Lower yourself down, and then we'll do for whoever wants to push up into a plank, take a breath in, curl the toes under, and use your exhalation to draw the tummy in towards your back. Exhale into your plank, and then exhale, downward dog. Let's take an inhale, reach your right leg up to the sky. Exhale, step your right foot between your hands, left foot next to your right foot, and forward bend. So I'm guessing you're pretty warm by now, even if it's cold. And let's inhale halfway. Exhaling, forward fold, and then inhale, sweep your arms up to the sky, hands to heart. Let's take one moment here, pause. Soften the shoulders. Okay. So from here, inhale, reach your arms up. Let's exhale, step your right foot back into a high lunge. And you're going to then flatten out your back foot. I'm going to spin around in a second so you can actually see me. Heel toe your left foot forward. Make sure your feet are in line with each other. Reach the arms out to the sides. Warrior two. So once in your warrior two, take a peek at your left middle finger. Using the concept of drishti, which is soft gaze. Now from here, we're going to take the right hand behind your right thigh, spin the left palm back, and stretch towards that back leg. Take a breath in, and take a breath out. And you can turn your gaze up to your arm or look down. Now, from reverse warrior, place your left hand on your left thigh. Right arm reaches up. We'll start here. This is extended warrior. This is the first variation. So press into that left thigh. Reach your right arm up, and then wrap it around your back. Maybe extra clothing, or possibly the inner thigh. Possibly. If you have long arms, you might be able to do that. And then take an inhale and exhale. Pull that right shoulder back a little bit more as you wrap your arm around, as you push the middle back into that right arm. Now the other option is to take your left hand down. If you can touch the ground but still press into that left thigh, actually calf. So we're exploring binding. And then take your right arm, unwrap, and then lift back up, cartwheel those arms back up into your warrior two. And then lower the hands down. And we're simply going to turn ourselves in the other direction. If you have to kind of turn around and find yourself on a different part of the mat. Right toes are forward now, left toes are back. Right knee is bent. Same sequence. Reach your arms out, warrior two, looking with that soft gaze, the drishti towards that right finger. I'm looking at the water. I'm quite warm, so I might actually jump in after I'm done here. Taking an inhale and exhale, left hand behind your left thigh. Spin the right palm back and stretch towards your back leg. Make sure your right knee, as what just happened to me, as I found myself straightening my right leg, keep it bent in the same shape as you do for your warrior two. So you should be feeling lots of stretching on the right side of that thigh, right side of your body. And then keep everything as is. Bring your right arm, place it on your right thigh just to start. Get yourself in the correct position here, push into that right thigh, spin the right palm up, take your left hip, pull it back a little bit, right hip forward, left arm lifts up, and spin and wrap it behind your back. Grab hold of clothing or inside that thigh. I'm going to grab hold of clothing for this one. And then twist. See if you can go a little bit deeper, pushing. Now if you can, if it's possible, don't do it if you can't go even get near the ground. And then you don't want to sink forward with that left shoulder. You want to try and keep that left shoulder up. So stay on that right thigh. This is not that important that you get your hand down to the ground. The most important thing is the shoulder opening. And then take a breath in, and let's lift back up, warrior two. Looking towards that right middle finger, and then curling the back toes under and placing your hands on the ground, framing that right foot and stepping back, downward dog. And let's take a pause. Unless you want to do a vinyasa, you feel free to do that, or follow me into a child's pose. But keep your arms active. Keep the breath moving. If you've lost your ojai breath, come back to it. Return to the deep ocean-like breath. Soften the shoulders down. Now from here, we're going to come on to our, if you're, did your vinyasa, we meet in a child's, then we're going to meet on our stomachs. So here we are. Let's come into Sphinx to begin with. We will go into a bow for a back bend. Elbows onto shoulders, legs are squeezing together. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, the chest telescopes forward. You're looking towards your thumbs. This is one of the most basic back bends. Actually the gentlest back bend. So it's good to always start here. The next option is to pick up the elbows a little bit higher. This is now going into a baby cobra. The closer the hands get to your chest, the higher the cobra, the more of a back bend. And it really does depend on where you are in terms of flexibility in your spine. And then lower yourself down. Place your arms next to your sides, forehead on the ground. We're going to now move into a locust. Forehead resting. My head's lifted just because I have to speak. But take a breath in and legs together, and the first thing you do is you pick your head up, then your legs up, and you're balancing on your tummy, and then the arms lift off the ground, reach the fingertips towards the heels, squeeze your shoulder blades together. If that's way too much for you, just keep the fingers on the ground. Looking downward, crown of the head is reaching forward as your legs are extending back, and then lower down. Make a little pillow with your hands, do a little shake of the hips from side to side, loosen up those hips. Well, the nice thing of teaching in the heat is that you do warm up very quickly. Your muscles, you can go into more flexible or advanced poses, challenging poses, because you're all warmed up. Okay, we're going to now move into our bow. Option here is to go back to do the locust instead of what I'm doing now. Otherwise, if you can't grab your feet or your ankle, the top of the feet is level 1, level 2 is ankle. If you can't, then I would suggest locust. Squeeze the legs towards each other, but they're still about hip distance apart. Forehead's on the ground, thighs are on the ground. We're in preparation mode, taking a breath in. And then you lift your head up, squeeze the shoulder blades, then the chest semi lifts up depending on the size of your chest, and then lift your thighs off the ground. Now kick your ankles into your hands, look towards the ground. Bow pose, back bend. Quite challenging, but intense and beautiful and wonderful and invigorating. And then lower the thighs down. Let's just take a pause here for just a moment. Waking up this spine. We're going to do that one more time. Notice how your heart rate immediately speeds up. So what we do is we breathe deeply, go back into the diaphragmatic breathing, and that relaxes everything, brings everything back down to a more normal, I suppose, regular kind of breathing. Now grab hold of your ankles again, or if you want to do locust, do locust. Forehead on the ground, thighs on the ground. Take a breath in. Prepare yourself by squeezing the shoulder blades together. Lift the thighs off the ground. That's where we are first moment. Then the next step is take a breath in, and then as you exhale, kick your feet into the hands. Your chest telescopes forward, crown of the head reaches as well forward. So you're not looking up. I suppose you could, but let's try and keep our spine especially our cervical spine, our neck. Let's be extra careful with our necks, and then lower down. And then lift up. Come into a tabletop. Let's do a few little sways from side to side, and then let's press back into our child's pose. And if you want a little bit more of a intense stretch for your spine, bring the legs together and let your arms drape next to your legs. Forehead resting on the ground as close to your knees. Let's take a few breaths here. Inhaling and exhaling. Okay, let's come back up into our tabletop. Let's do a few little cats and cows. Inhaling into your cow stretch, exhaling into your cat. Feel free to curl the toes under if you would like, or keep the feet flat. Wrists are under shoulders. This is primarily at this juncture in the practice to warm up, not to warm up the spine, but to release any tension that you've just accumulated in the spine from the bow. So just a few little gentle rocks, rolls, and then come back to the neutral spine. From here, you're going to curl the toes under, exhale, downward dog. Bring your hand, open the feet wide, bring your hands a little bit closer in, probably about halfway to your feet. Make sure the feet are flat on the ground, the heels are down. Take your right hand, cross it underneath your left hand, holding on to either your ankle, your calf. If you can't even get any closer, just put the hands bring the hands as close to the leg as possible, and then take an inhale, and as you exhale, look under your left arm, stretching out that spine. If you want a little bit more, if you find this quite easy, you can always take your left hand further forward. So as you can feel probably, this is a nice back stretch, hamstring stretch, twist, all in one. And then take your right hand and place it back next to your left. And then left hand, we're just alternating. Left hand now, find a place on your leg, ultimately the ankle, but some of us can't quite get there. So take an inhale, grab onto that leg, and then twist and look under that right arm. Feeling that twist in the spine. And then bring your left hand forward, and then let's bring the feet, and let's come to the middle of the mat and just allow yourself to fold over. I think we might be ready for the bird of paradise. There's different versions of it. Now think about back at the very beginning of the practice when you were lying on your back and I had you open your leg out to the side. That could be part of the bird of paradise for you. It is for somebody who does the complete bird of paradise. So let's just roll up for a second. Just let ourselves shake ourselves out as we prepare. So what we're going to do is I'm going to come to the front of your mat or a little bit closer in. It doesn't matter where you are on the mat for this. And what we're going to do is feet are a little bit wider than your hips, maybe not quite as wide as the mat. And then I want you to fold over into a forward bend to start. You're going to bend your right. I'm going to actually spin around so you can actually see me. That would help, right? Bend your legs, come into a squat, half a squat. Okay, so you're going to take your right arm and you're going to scoop it underneath your right leg and bring the hand all the way outside of that right foot. Let's start with that. So, and then take your left hand and wrap it around your back. And you're placing it to the right side of your back. Then from here, you can take your right hand and scoop it under and grab hold of that left hand. Now, not all of us can do that. So and then come onto the toes of that right foot. Okay? If we cannot get our arms to wrap around, then feel free to just grab hold of your right ankle in this position. Your left hand, you can keep your left hand on your back. We'll see how it goes. So you're going to, if you can, grab hold of that other hand behind your back. This is called a bind. And you're going to take a breath in, and some of us will stay right here. Some of us are going to take a breath in and bring the foot in a little bit closer and then lift up. Now, I haven't done this in a while, so I'm a little bit wobbly today. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, let's lift up. And then maybe straighten your right leg. Turn. So that's bird of paradise. And then lower down. Let's just let ourselves forward bend. So the option is, let me show you the other option if you're wondering how am I going to do this. You can squat, just a basic lifting up. You can start like this. In a way, you can cut, if you'd like, you can go into your tree, or do a grab hold of the big toe and take your left hand out. That's another option. It's not a bird of paradise, but it's there. It's the shape. And then lower down, and then come back, and then shake it out. Whew. So this is a major shoulder stretcher, balancer, everything you can imagine. It's quite intense. Okay, so now we have the other side. Let's just fold over into a forward bend, stretch out the backs of the legs. Take a few breaths. Notice if your breathing has changed. It's a little bit more erratic, less smooth. Smooth it out first. Now open the feet. It's a little wider than your hips. Bend your knees. Take your left arm. See if you can get the shoulder underneath your left knee. You can pick your left heel up and place it just onto the outside for a moment. Take your right arm, wrap it around your back. Just place it on your back. So some of us, this might be actually, this is where you're going. This is it. This is perfect. Otherwise, take your left hand, wrap it around your back, and see if you can grab hold of your right hand. That's a bind. Okay? This might be a little bit easier for me on this side because of my shoulders. I have a shoulder that's a little iffy at this moment on the right side. So take a breath in and then slowly lift yourself up. Now, so I fell down, so what I'm doing, take a breath in and then you do it again. Keep. It's about playing. And then lower down. And then release down. And then for those who did struggle with that one, remember the other option is to lift up either into the tree. My legs are tired. Or into that one-legged standing pose. Whew. Bird of paradise. In paradise. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. And let's all find our way down onto our knees. And then onto our right hip. So no matter what you did there, you gave it your best shot. That's it. That's all it is. It's just a moment of fun and play. Let's extend your legs. Let's stretch out the backs of those legs one more time. Take a deep breath in and take a deep breath out. And then slowly lift ourselves back up. Take the hands behind your back and slide your bottom to your heels. Let's lower ourselves onto our backs. And once on our backs, let's stretch the legs away from the arms. Feel that stretch throughout the body. Oh, it feels nice, huh? The bird of paradise is one of those poses that you have to just keep practicing, not all at once, obviously. So it's very, very intense. Hug your knees into your chest. Let's open the arms out to the sides. Let your knees drop gently to the left. We've done a lot of twists. So what I would suggest for this one, bring the knees a little bit lower down, not as high as not higher than your hips. Keep your knees lower than your hips or in line with your hips for this one, and turn your gaze to the right. And if that doesn't feel good at all, then do some other types of stretches which we'll do in a second, just to counter that. And let's pick your knees back up. Give yourself another hug. And let's take your arms out to the sides and drop your knees to the right on this side, about as high as the hips or slightly lower. Let yourself settle down. Well-deserved Shavasana for this one.
You can do this class multiple times and practice that bird of paradise over a period of a few weeks. It could make it's really just something you have to practice, practice, practice. Build up the strength. Because certain parts of your body have to be pretty strong to be able to hold yourself up, to be able to hold up. And then pick your knees towards you again, a little bit of a hug. And let's prepare for Shavasana. Extending the right leg to the right corner of the mat, left to the left. Let your arms settle out to the sides a few inches or so. Now my Shavasana is very special because I get to actually have see a blue sky above me. I'm warm. I feel the breeze. And I hear the water. So for the next few moments, we're going to sit in Shavasana, and I'll let you know when we're ready to come out. Let's slowly begin to wake up, keeping your eyes closed. Begin to bring movement to fingers and toes. Little wiggles of the fingers, wiggles of the toes. And then deepen the breath. Closing the distance between your legs. And take a deep breath in, reach the arms away from the legs. And then exhale, hug your knees into your chest. And then rolling onto your right side and pausing in a fetal shape. And then slowly finding your way back up into your easy seat, where we started this practice. And just take a pause as you settle in. Listening into your breath. Relaxing, feeling that sense of calm. Or maybe you're a little invigorated from the back bends and the bird of paradise. And noticing also what's going through your mind. It might be very little, but notice the words that you are listening to. And I think that's the most important thing, is that when we try new things, and we either do it really well or we don't do it well at all, it's very easy to get down on yourself. What's wrong with me? Why can't I do it? Whatever happens is what happens. It's just an experience. It's another experience in so many experiences that we have in our lives. So it's accepting what is and smiling through it. So as I bring my hands in front of my heart, or as we bring our hands in front of our heart to seal the practice for this powerful day for me, to be able to teach in the sunshine and not have fallen in the pool, which was what thought I had, especially with the bird of paradise. But thank you for being with me. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the day, or whenever you're actually doing this class. Namaste, and this is Rebecca Jane from Yoga with Rebecca Jane, and I'll see you soon.